I'd like to start by quoting Viktor Frankl, a psychoanalyst, a Holocaust survivor, and the author of Man's Search for Meaning, a very worthwhile book to read if you haven't read it. But there was no need to be ashamed of tears, for tears bore witness that a man had the greatest courage, the courage to suffer. I chose to begin with this quote because I knew I would cry. And I want you to know that I'm not ashamed of my tears. They're an expression of my love, my grief, and the courage to remember. Our sages teach us that the second Beit HaMikdash, the second temple, was destroyed because of sinat chinam, senseless or frivolous hate between fellow Jews. It was not because of sins between man and God, ben adam lamakom, but rather between man and fellow human beings. On this Tish'a BeAb, I'd like to share 6 attributes that my husband, Rabbi Raymond Harari, worked on with intention throughout his life, so that we might reflect on them, learn from his example, and take them on in our own lives. Those 6 traits are Adam la'amal yulad, gratitude, forgiveness, inclusion of women in halachic Judaism, patience, focusing on family and our priorities and not what others think. Adam l'umal yulad, and gratitude. When my husband passed away, I cautioned my children against turning him into a saint. He was a man who took his rabbi's words to heart. Rabbi Aaron Lichtenstein, his rabbi at Yeshivat Har Etzion, taught Adam l'umal yulad, la'amal yulad. Let me say that again, because my husband would kill me for saying it wrong. Adam la'amal yulad. Man was born to toil or work hard. This he understood as we are here to work on improving our individual character as well as improving our service to God and to each other. This was my husband's daily avodah, his daily toil or work. Our last Simchat Torah together, we were blessed to have all our children and grandchildren under one roof in Allenhurst, allowing us a minyan together with a Sefer Torah. Though my husband was no longer standing or speaking much, he used his energy to haltingly read from the Sefer while lying down, a last gift to us. Before Simchat Torah, Soli Towel had asked if he could bring a few men to do hakafot. I asked my husband what he thought, and he whispered to me, "Okay, but only if they do the hakafot in the backyard." He was sensitive to not disturbing our not-Jewish neighbors. A few men turned out to be the entire synagogue, men, women, and children. At the conclusion of the hakafot, my husband called to me and my daughter, "Quick, quick, help me up." We didn't know what he wanted. We helped him up, not knowing what he wanted to do. He stood by the door to the patio and said, "I love you all. You are a great community." I want to thank you all publicly for coming. And if and when I get better, I want to thank you all privately. He then lied back down. He did not stand upright again. He lived to serve others and believed in the importance of expressing gratitude. We are all capable and responsible to do the same. Forgiveness. My husband had a wonderful memory, but when it came to people who wronged him, he had amnesia. He would forget. My children and I could not believe it. How he could lose his memory. And he, of course, would work hard at making sure he did not hurt others. When he was head of school at the Yeshiva of Flatbush, the first few years, he had daily conversations with the president about many ongoing issues. When he finished the conversation, he would often call the president back to make sure he had not insulted the president upon disagreeing with him. I recall once entering the room when he was on speakerphone and the president saying, "I was waiting for your return call. What took you so long?" He would often say that Judaism believes in forgiveness. Hashem accepts our teshuvah, so we must forgive those who have wronged us and always make sure that we ask forgiveness of others and that we do not get stuck in anger and resentment. He often quoted his mother, my mother-in-law, Rose Beda, "You be the good one." Inclusion of women in Halachic Judaism. He was a trailblazer. He taught Talmud to high school women for over 40 years. Many of his students now teach the women in our community schools Talmud and Judaic studies. One of his prize students, Michelle Cohn-Farber, teaches over 3,000 women Daf Yomi online daily. Many women in our community learn with her. She credits my husband with her love of Talmud and teaching. This summer, my neighbor shared with me her story of entering the Allenhurst Synagogue's women's section last summer on a Friday night, only to find men praying there. Uncomfortable with the situation, she exited. My husband, upon seeing this, frail but motivated, raced across the shul and waved the men out so that she could be part of the prayer service. Although embarrassed, she entered and has told me that as a result, she now attends shul every Shabbat day, something she had never done before. In Mikdash Eliyahu, we have a sectioned off area for women on Friday night, so that even if one woman makes the effort of coming there, there is a place for her. My husband believed that if it is in the halachic framework, then it is imperative to be inclusive. This takes us to his funeral. My husband did not want to talk about the end of his life, but he was completely clear that he wanted his daughters to speak at his funeral. He lived with great regret that this did not become normative yet in our community. Perhaps others can continue to work towards this as part of his legacy. Patience. Probably his most obvious virtue was his patience. At home, in the classroom, in the boardroom, or when speaking to anyone and everyone. You could ask him the same question many times, and he would answer it as if it were the first. Congregants, educators, students, couples, and family members would come to him to unpack their problems and issues. Whether complicated or simple, he gave each individual the time they required, and he felt that they deserved. At his shiva, hundreds of students, young and old, reported that they thought they were his favorite student because of the time and attention devoted to them. In the classes that I attended of his, there was always one student who would ask a lot of questions or interrupt the class. And he was so patient in all the classes. And in particular, a woman who attended his classes as well said she didn't go for the content, she went to learn about patience, by watching him teach the class. She was a teacher, and she learned patience. You've got to be here somewhere. Okay. Anyway, lastly, I think it's the last one, focusing on family and our priorities and not what people think. All of our children went to colleges in New York City and dormed there. They came home for Shabbat whenever they wanted to. One Thursday evening, one of my children said that she was coming home, but did not. After Shabbat, she called and said, I realized too late that my class ended my class ended too late and I would not be home on time for Shabbat. The next week, he or she said that they were coming home for Shabbat. I asked, oh, the professor canceled class? My husband, who had overheard the conversation, said, Vicky, don't ask that question. If our child wants to come home for Shabbat and be together with us, you don't have to ask a question. He or she knows what they need to do. I want him or her home with us. My reply was, Raym, we live 5 houses away from the shul. Our child will be coming home, walking from the subway, when everyone will be coming out of early minyan, and she will meet them in his or her clothing with their knapsack, to which he replied, I do not care about what people think in that situation. I care about my child coming home and spending Shabbat with us. Okay. My husband grew 10 feet taller for me that day. I hope that today on Tish'a BeAb, on the day that the temple was destroyed because of senseless hatred, we can be inspired by my husband's legacy. Adam la'amal yulad. We are here to work, to grow, and to serve. Happiness comes through service of Hashem and of others, always within the framework of halakha. Let us grow in patience in all areas of our life. Let us remember to express gratitude daily. Let us forgive freely without holding on to anger. Let us include others, all who deserve a place in our community. Let us choose family and truth over appearances or fear of judgment. May we carry his legacy forward, not only in memory, but in action, in character, and how we treat one another. Thank you.